Hello everyone, welcome you all for today's session. So today we'll be discussing about the solutions of the Neet paper of which you have all taken on 29th June 2022. We'll discuss about the biology part of it. Not every questions will solve some of the important and some difficult questions from the Neet paper which you all have taken on 29th June 2020. So let's get started, okay? So the first question is this. So the first question says that during packaging stage, exchange of genetic materials takes place between. So the options are like this. So the option says that it takes place between the sister chromatids of the chromosome or the two non-homologous chromosome or the non-sister chromatids of the non-homologous chromosome or between the non-sister chromatids of the non-homologous chromosome. So first let's see what is this packaging. Packaging is nothing but it is a third stage of prophase, correct? It is a third stage of prophase 1. Yes, we all know this. It is a third stage of prophase 1 of meiosis. Yes. So what happens in this process is that there is a crossing over of genes. So the crossing over of genes happens. Crossing over of genes happens at this stage of prophase. So that means there is an exchange of genetic material which is taking between two non-sister chromatids. Between two non-sister chromatids, homologous chromosome of homologous chromosome. So the right option is option number 4. That is the exchange of genetic materials take place between non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosome, where homologous means identical. Correct? Homologous means identical. Yes. So the right option is option number 4. So let's move on to the next question. So the next question says that microtubule arrangements in flagella as a 9+2 array is not seen in. So what is microtubule? Microtubule is nothing but a type of cytoskeletal fiber. Correct? It is a type of cytoskeletal fiber which is present in all the eukaryotes. It is present in all the eukaryotes. Correct? Yes. So let's see which are not the eukaryotes here. Euglena. We all know that Euglena is a flagellated eukaryote. Flagellated eukaryote. It is. Yes. And when we come to gynologs, it is also a dinoflagellate eukaryote. Correct? Dinoflagellate eukaryote. And when we come to trypanosoma, it is a parasitic protozoa. Correct? It is a parasitic protozoa. Correct? Then what is spirilla? Spirilla is a spherical shaped bacteria. Yes, it is a spiral shaped bacteria. And we all know that it is a prokaryote. Yes, it is a prokaryote. So where the option in which there is no presence of microtubule is spirilla. So in spirilla we won't find the microtubules. Yes. So let's go to the next question. So that is the third question, which says identify the incorrect statement. So be very careful when you are, reading the question. It says incorrect statement. That is, we have to find out the statement which is not correct. So let's see the statements. So the first statement says that the cytochrome C is a mobile electron carrier attached to the outer membrane of mitochondria. Is it correct? No, it is not correct, because cytochrome C is a protein which is attached to the outer surface outer surface of inner mitochondrial membrane. It is attached to the outer surface of the inner mitochondrial membrane. Yes, inner mitochondrial membrane. So the first statement is wrong. And the second statement says that NAD plus is a nucleotide source for ATP synthesis in cellular respiration. Again, this statement is also wrong. Why? Because NAD plus functions NAD plus functions as a electron carrier. Functions as a electron carrier in a cellular respiration. Yes. So let's see the third statement. So the third statement says that the inner mitochondrial membrane is permeable to protons at F naught protein complex. Yes, this statement is correct. Yes. And the fourth statement says that the proton gradient required for the oxidative phosphorylation, the process called oxidative phosphorylation of ADP, is obtained with the use of energy of oxidation and reduction. Yes, again, this statement is also correct. So the wrong statements are A and B. So the correct option is option number 4, where A and B are the wrong statements. Yes. So we'll see the next question. So the next question says that in a tomato plant, the primary carbon dioxide acceptor is a 4-carbon acid or a PEP carbonase or a 5-carbon ketose or a 3-carbon phosphophenol pyruvate. Let's see what this plant is actually. This tomato plant is an example of C3 plant. Yes, where the Kelvin cycle takes place. This is an example of a C3 plant and a Kelvin cycle takes place. So when coming to C3 cycle of a plant, the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide is ribulose 1,5 biphosphate. Ribulose 1,5 biphosphate, which is also known as a 5-carbon ketose. 5-carbon ketose. So the correct option is option number 3, that is a 5-carbon ketose. So in C3 plants, ribulose 1,5 biphosphate is the primary carbon dioxide acceptor. So when coming to C4 plant, the phosphophenol pyruvate is the primary acceptor in the C4 plants, and this is the enzyme which catalyzes the fixation of carbon dioxide in the C4 plants. Enzyme which catalyzes the fixation of carbon dioxide. Yes, fixation of carbon dioxide. So the right option is 5-carbon ketose. Yes. So let's move on to the next question. So the next question says that in a root nodules of a leguminous plant, in a root nodules of a leguminous plant, a nitrogenase is protected from the molecular oxygen due to the presence of. Is it because of the molybdenum iron protein in the enzyme, or the thick wall of the cortical cells, or the mucopeptide in the rhizobium cell wall, or because of the pigment like hemoglobin? So this nitrogenase is an enzyme which helps in the nitrogen fixation. Yes, this is an enzyme which helps in the nitrogen fixation. Correct? Nitrogen fixation. But this nitrogenase becomes inactive becomes inactive in the presence of oxygen. Inactive in the presence of oxygen. So it has to be protected from the molecular oxygen. Hence, there is a pigment called hemoglobin in the nitrogenase, which protects this nitrogenase from the molecular oxygen. It is because of the presence of the pigment like hemoglobin. Yes. So let's see the next question. So the next question is that for which of the following codons there would be no tRNA. So what is tRNA? tRNA, we all know that it is a transfer RNA, correct? Which is a transfer RNA which helps in transferring of the codons from the messenger RNA to the proteins. Yes. So we all know that this tRNA, there will be no tRNA, there will be no tRNA in the stop codons. Stop codons. So what are the stop codons? They are UAA, UAG, and UGA. These are the stop codon. So in which following codon, which of the following codon is a stop codon? Obviously, UAG is the stop codon. So obviously it will not have tRNA in them. Yes. So let's move on to the next question. So the next question is that identify the following statement as true and false and choose the option accordingly. We have to see whether the statement is true and false. So let's see the statements. So the statements are like this. So population is an assemblage of group of different species in a area. Is it true? Is it true? It's definitely not true. It is false because population is not the assembly age, but it is biological community. Biological community is the assemblage of group of different species in an area, whereas this population is the individuals. Correct? It is the individuals of same species. Individuals of, sorry, it is the individuals of same species. So it is false, it is not true. Yes. So let's see the second statement. In a second statement, it says that in an ecosystem, there is an exchange of energy and the recycling of nutrients among the biological community and the physical environment. Yes, the statement is absolutely true because as you all know, we have a food chain in our ecosystem and energy flow happens. There is an energy flow, and whereas this energy flow is unidirectional, unidirectional it is, and it happens in it flows from one trophic level to another trophic level. Yes, so there is an exchange of energy in our ecosystem, and we all know that this nutrients is produced from organic and the inorganic matter, produced by the organic and inorganic matter of the ecosystem. Yes, and this produced, exchanged, and the flow of this nutrients is the process is known as cycling in the ecosystem. So hence this nutrients will obviously recycle. Yes, and then this statement is absolutely true. Yes. So this third statement says that the organism, population, communities, and biomes are the four basic level of biological organization. Yes, obviously these four are the basic levels of biological organization in our ecosystem. So the first statement is false, the second statement is true, and the third statement is also true. So the right option is option 2. Yes. So the first statement is true. The first statement is false. The second statement is true, and the third statement is also true. Yes. So yeah, let's move on to the next question. That is the eighth question. So the eighth question says that the amount of energy in the form of sunlight should be available to the producer so that the secondary carnivore in the following food chain, so this is the food chain they have given us, can get 100 joule of energy in the form of food from its prey. So here they say that the producer is getting the energy from the sunlight, correct? So the producer is getting the energy from the sunlight, and here the grass is the producer. And what is a secondary carnivore? Obviously, the snake is the secondary carnivore. Yes, correct. So they are saying that the following food chain, the secondary carnivore gets 100 joule. The energy the secondary carnivore is getting is 100 joule. Yes. So we all know that there is a energy flow in the ecosystem which happens in the 10%. So the 10% of energy gets transferred from one trophic level to another trophic level. So if we know that this is the 100 joule the secondary carnivore is getting, so it must obviously be the 10% of this, and the 10% of this, and 10% of this. Yes. So let's take this frog as X, and this grasshopper as Y, and this grass as Z, and let's take the sunlight as A. So the frog's energy is the 10% of X is equal to 100 joules for the snake. So X will be the energy of the frog will be 1000 joules. Yes. So when coming to the grasshopper, the energy of the frog will be 10% of the grasshopper, that is Y. So it is 10% of the grasshopper is 1000 joules. That means grasshopper energy will be 10,000 joule. Yes. So if the grasshopper is having a 10,000 joule of energy, that is 10% of grass. The energy obtained from the 10% of grass. Yes. So we have taken grass as Z. So the 10% of grass is equal to 10,000. Sorry. So the 10% of grass will be the energy of the grasshopper. Correct? So the energy of the grass will be 1 lakh joule. Correct? 1 lakh joule. So the energy of this grass will be again a 10% of sunlight. Exactly what we want. So the 10% of sunlight energy will be the energy of the grass, that is 1 lakh. So the energy of the sunlight will be 10 lakh joule. Correct? So if we convert this, if we convert this into kilojoules, it will be a, if we are converting 10 lakh joule into kilojoule, it will be 10,000 kilojoule. So the correct answer is option B, option 2. Yes? Yes? So let's move on to the next question, that is question number 9, which says both male and female gametes or non-motile. They are telling that both male and female gametes are non-motile in which of the following? So let's see the option. See, in most of the bryophytes, or all the members of Phylophytae, or all angiosperms, or most of the pteridophytes. So we know that in bryophytes, and pteridophytes, in bryophytes and pteridophytes, the male gametes are motile. So in bryophytes and pteridophytes, we know that the male gametes are motile. Yes, male gametes are motile, and we all know that they require water for the fertilization. Yes, water as a medium for them. And angiosperms is the flowering plants. Angiosperms is the flowering plants. In all the flowering plants, the male and female gametes are non-motile. So the option is option number 3. All the angiosperms, in all the angiosperms, the male and the female gametes are non-motile. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. So the next question is the 10th question, which says the genetic material of Mycoplasma. The genetic material of Mycoplasma is, so yeah, you can see the genetic material here, the Mycoplasma. The genetic material is a double-stranded DNA. It is a double-stranded DNA. Yes, so the genetic material present in the Mycoplasma is double-stranded DNA. So the next question is the 11th question. Here they are asking, they have given us two blank. Yes, the first one and the second one, and they are telling that the first one, the I is usually asexually reproduced by the second blank, but lack sexual reproduction. So let's see the options. Let's see and check it out. So the first option says that Coletotrichum is asexually reproduced by zoospores, but lacks sexual reproduction. This lacks sexual reproduction, yes, it is a fungi, but it reproduces asexually by producing gonidia. It reproduced by gonidia but not by zoospores. Okay, and alternaria is again a fungi which reproduce asexually by gonidia. So the correct option is option number 2. But let's see the option number 3 and 4 as well. So neurospora and albugo, they both reproduce sexually and asexually as well. They have both the reproductive system. They reproduce by both sexually and asexually. So the right option is option number 2, that is alternaria, which reproduce asexually by gonidia and lack sexual reproduction. And again, this coletotrichum also lacks sexual reproduction, also lacks sexual reproduction, but it produced by gonidia but not by zoospores. Yes. So let's see the next question, that is the 12th question. So the question says that to produce 800 male gametes in a typical angiosperms, how many meiotic divisions are required? So in a one meiotic division, that is one microspore mother cell, one microspore mother cell through a meiotic cell division produces 4 pollen grains. Correct? 4 pollen grains. It is a first meiotic. This is the meiotic division. Through the meiotic division, one microspore mother cell produces 4 pollen grains. So then this pollen grains produces 2 male gametes each. 2 male gametes each. Yes, correct. So all the 4 pollen grains produces 2 each male gametes. Yes, so that means one microspore mother cell produces how many male gametes? 8 male gametes. 8 male gametes. So if we are in need of 800 male gametes from one meiotic division, that will require how many? So for 800 male, for 800 male gametes, we require 100 meiotic division. 100 meiotic division. Yes, 100 meiotic division we require. Yes, why? Because from one microspore mother cell we are getting 8 male gametes. So if we need 800 male gametes, we need 100 meiotic division. Yes, so let's move on to the next question. So that is the 13th question. So in 13th question says that the end of isovolumetric contraction of ventricles. End of isovolumetric contraction of ventricles lead to. The first option says that opening of AV walls, or the opening of semilunar walls, or the closure of AV walls, or the closure of semilunar walls. So as you all can see in the diagram here, see the isometric contraction is ending, as soon as it ends, the aortic walls open. The aortic walls open. So the semilunar walls are nothing but the aortic walls and the pulmonary walls. Aortic and the it includes the aortic and the pulmonary walls. Yes. So when there is a end of isometric contraction of ventricles, it leads to the opening of a semilunar walls. It leads to the valves. So when does the AV valves open then? It opens when the ventricles relax. It opens when the ventricles relax. And it closes when the ventricles contract. When the ventricles contract. So when the closure of semilunar valve happens, this closure of semilunar valve happens at the immediate start of volumetric contraction of ventricles. Volumetric contraction of ventricles. So as soon as it ends, the semilunar valves open, and as soon as it starts, the semilunar valves closes. Yes. So let's go to the next question. That is our 14th question. Says that select the incorrect statement with respect to the female reproductive system of the cockroach. So let's see the statements. So we have to choose the incorrect statement. So here you can see the female reproductive system of the cockroach also. So let's see the statements first. The first statement says that two large ovaries are present laterally in the second to the sixth abdominal segments. Yes, here you can see the ovaries. Yes, two ovaries which are present laterally in the second to sixth abdominal segment. Second to sixth abdominal segment. So this statement is correct. And then the second statement says that a pair of spermatica is present in the sixth segment of abdomen. So here you can see the spermatica. Yes, here. So this is present in the sixth segment of abdomen. Yes, it is present in the sixth segment of abdomen of a female cockroach. So again, this statement is also correct. So the third statement says that vagina opens into the genital chamber. So let's see, where is the vagina here? The vagina is present. Here you can see the vagina, which opens into the genital chamber. Yes, this is the genital chamber you are seeing. Yes, this is the genital chamber, and vagina opens it into the genital chamber. So this statement is also correct. So the fourth statement says that collateral glands open into the vestibulum. So here the down part, whatever you're seeing is the vestibulum, but the collateral glands are over here. Yes. So the collateral glands are over here, which are opening into the genital chamber, but not to the vestibulum. They are opening into the genital chamber, but not to the vestibulum. So this statement is wrong. So the correct option for this question is option number 4. Yes. So let's move on to the next question. So the next question is that it says the Indian government has set up a organization such as dash. We have to find which is that organization which will make decisions regarding the validity of GM research. GM research is genetic modification, right? Genetic modification. Yes, so we have the genetically modified organisms, genetically modified crops, animals. Yes, so for example, BT cotton, BT tobacco, all these are the examples of genetically modified crops. So let's see which is the organization which is which makes the decision regarding the genetically modified research. Yes, so the first option is NDRI. What is NDRI? NDRI is a National Dairy Research Institute. National Dairy Research Institute, which helps in or which completely take care of the dairy products and the management of these dairy products producing animals. Yes. So what is IARI? IARI is a Indian Agricultural Indian Agricultural Research Institute. Indian Agricultural Research Institute, which again takes care about the agricultural products, which takes care about the agricultural products. So then GEAC. GEAC is a genetic engineering, sorry. So yeah, let me just erase this. So GEAC is a genetic engineering approval committee. Yes, so it is genetic engineering approval committee. Approval committee, which is a Indian government organization which makes the decision regarding the genetic modification. So then what is EFB? EFB is nothing but a European Federation of Biotechnology. European Federation of Biotechnology, which was found in 1978 by the European scientists. It was found by the European scientist in 1978. So the Indian government organization which will make decisions in the genetical modification is GEAC, that is Genetic Engineering Approval Committee. Yes, so let's go on to the next question. So the next question is that the 16th question, which says spleen is included in. So we all know that spleen is a very small organ. Here you can see it is a very small organ which is present in the ribcage just above our stomach, just beside our stomach. So this spleen is a lymphatic organ of our body. It is a lymphatic organ of our body. So, in which of the lymphoid organ is it included? So, let's see. In primary lymphoid organ, we have a bone marrow. We have a bone marrow and thymus. We have a bone marrow and thymus. So, spleen is not included in the primary lymphoid organ, whereas secondary lymphoid organs include lymph nodes, spleen, and dorsals. So, spleen is included in the secondary lymphoid organ. Yes, so spleen is included in the secondary lymphoid organ. Again, we see the physiological barrier of innate immunity is like nothing but your tears, skin, saliva. All these are the physiological barriers of the innate immunity, which doesn't allow the microorganisms to enter our body. Yes. So the lymphoid organs which are involved in the formation of lymphocytes are again nothing but the primary lymphoid organs, that is bone marrow and the thymus. Bone marrow and thymus, it is a primary lymphoid organ. So the spleen is included in secondary lymphoid organs. Yes. So the correct option is option B. So let's see the next question. So the next question is that select the incorrect statement with respect to the blood vascular system of a cockroach. So we have to, what we have to do, we have to choose a incorrect statement, not a correct statement, but a incorrect statement. So let's see the statements first. So the first statement says that blood vessels are poorly developed and are open into hemocoel. So we all know that this cockroach have a open circulatory system. Yes, we all know that it has a open circulatory system. Yes. So yeah, here the blood vessels are poorly developed. This option is absolutely correct. And the second statement says that the hemolymph contains hemocytes. Hemolymph is nothing but a blood of this cockroach, and where it contains 90% of watery fluid, 90% of watery fluids, and 10% of these hemocytes. 10% of these hemocytes. So the second statement is also correct. Yes. And the third statement says that the visceral organs located in the hemocoel are bathed in the hemolymph. As I already said, the cockroach has an open circulatory system, and these visceral organs are located in the hemophils, are bathed in the hemolymph. So the third statement is also absolutely correct. Yes. So now let's see a fourth statement. The heart of cockroach. The heart of cockroach consists of elongated muscular tubule lying along the ventrolateral line of the thorax and the abdomen. No, this statement is wrong because the heart of the cockroach consisting of the elongated muscular tubule lining along with the mid dorsal line of the thorax. It is not in the ventrolateral, it is in the mid dorsal line. Here you can see the chambers of the heart present in the mid dorsal lines of thorax and the abdomen. So the incorrect statement is option number 4. It is not correct. So let's see the next question. So the next question says that read the following statement and choose the correct answer. So that means they are asking us to check whether the statement is correct or wrong. So let's see. So the first statement says that vena cava and pulmonary veins are included in the systematic circulation. No, because the systematic circulation carries the oxygenated blood. It carries the oxygenated blood which is carried out through arteries. It is carried out through arteries, and vena cava and pulmonary veins are included in the pulmonary circulation which carries deoxygenate. These carries deoxygenated. So they are not included in the systematic circulation, where systematic circulation is completely about the carrying the oxygenated. Yes. So the option, so the first statement is completely wrong. It is not correct. So the second statement says that excitation of the atria is represented by T wave. Here you can see the T wave here. They are saying that the excitation of atria is represented by T wave, where excitation of atria is represented by the wave P, not by the wave T. This is correct, but they are not going to represent it by T. The excitation of atria is represented by P wave. P wave. Whereas this T wave represent the repolarization of the ventricles. So the T wave represents the repolarization of ventricles. The repolarization of ventricles. Whereas excitation of atria is represented by P waves but not by the T waves. So both the statements are not correct. They are incorrect. So the right option is option number B, option number 2. Yes. So yeah, that's all for today. If you have any doubts, please reach out to any of us, any of the Avanti fellow teachers. They will help you out with all your doubts. So thank you everyone. Have a nice day.